Mr. Mayor, Deputy Mayor, esteemed rabbis, rabbonim, ladies and gentlemen, you know what an amazing honor for me to stand before such a wonderful and diverse crowd in the presence of the Mayor and Deputy Mayor and in front of this magnificent menorah. This is truly a historic occasion. It's a historic occasion and at a historic location. And one of the greatest cities in the world. Let's hear it for London. Let's hear it for London. You know, it's very hard to describe the feelings I have right now. Feelings of gratitude to Almighty God for having brought us to this occasion, an awesome occasion that is. Feelings of gratitude to the Almighty for the wonderful weather we have, the dry weather, unbelievable. And of course, feelings of gratefulness and appreciation to the Mayor of London, Mr. Ken Livingstone, for your unwavering commitment to this great project for the Jewish community of London and indeed for the benefit of all Londoners. Mr. Mayor, you've set an example for all of us because you are practicing one of the central tenets and teachings of Hanukkah. Just as we increase in the number of lights each night, so too we should never be satisfied with the amount of goodness and happiness that we create in the world. We must continually grow and expand in that goodness and in our performance of good deeds. You know, you weren't just satisfied with having a ceremony in the London Lounge in the warmth and comfort there on the, the 7th floor, 8th floor? You wanted to bring Chanukkah onto the streets of London for the benefit of everyone, for the benefit of all London. And what better place, what more public, world-famous place other than Trafalgar Square and the backdrop of Nelson's column could one hope for? For that, Mr. Mayor, the Jewish community of London says not just a massive thank you, but also, as we say in Jewish, in Hebrew, a yesher koyach, which perhaps loosely translated means nice one. Nice one, Ken. At this point, I would like to thank some of the people whose incredible toil helped make this transform a somewhat rough sketch on a napkin in a kosher restaurant in northwest London into the magnificent structure you see before you tonight. 13-ton structure, that is. First of all, a special thanks go to the designer of this beautiful menorah, Mr. Mendy Levy of Everlasting Edifice, who's standing here, right up here. He spent enormous time and effort overseeing the completion of the build with all its attending challenges. Mr. Bambus Soterio and Mr. Adamos Televantos, I hope I've said that right, of Metallico, who with superhuman effort actually built this great structure in about 2 or 3 weeks. Amazing, miraculous. And Mr. Phil Dean and Mr. Scott Graham of Ellison Moore Engineers, who really had in mind to work for about 3 days on this project, and that was it. And they did a heck of a lot more, let me tell you, than that 3 days. Well done to both of you. And finally to Mr. John Roymans and Dr. Henk Schut of Lemonis Lighting in the Netherlands, whose LED lights so beautifully illuminated this menorah for the past 7 days. Although tonight, of course, we are lighting with real flames so that we can say the blessings. The Jewish community proudly salutes you all and asks God Almighty to bless the work of your hands in the future as a reward for your valiant, indomitable efforts. Friends, as many of you know, Hanukkah is the festival of lights. and recalls the victory some 2,100 years ago of a militarily weak but a spiritually strong Jewish people over the mighty forces of a ruthless enemy that had threatened to overrun the Holy Land and engulf the land and its people in darkness. The miraculous victory of the Jewish people at that time, which culminated in the rededication of the sanctuary in Jerusalem and the rekindling of the temple menorah that had been desecrated and extinguished by the enemy, has been celebrated each year since that time by the lighting of the menorah, the candelabra, for 8 days. But although the Jewish people for over 2,000 years have been celebrating and lighting menorahs in their own homes, it was the Lubavitcher Rebbe, Rabbi Menachem Mendel Schneerson, may his merit protect us, who over 25 years ago began to teach us that the message of Chanukkah was relevant to the entire world. The Rebbe's whole life was devoted to spreading light and goodness throughout the world, and it was he who built up what has become today the largest Jewish educational and social welfare organization in the world, Chabad Lubavitch, of which Chabad House of Hendon is a proud constituent. So the Rebbe taught us that the Chanukkah menorah is also a symbol and message of the triumph of freedom over oppression, of spirit over matter, of light over darkness. And now, 25 years later, thank God, the universal message of Chanukkah is being publicly proclaimed in hundreds of cities throughout the world. Tonight, we celebrate one of the most auspicious additions in recent years to the grand public menorah lightings, which, please God, will continue here on Trafalgar Square for many, many years to come, until, and even beyond, the coming of our righteous Mashiach very speedily in our days. Amen. Thank you all for coming here tonight, and God bless you all. Thank you.